Welcome to another Fiberific live craft and chat. Here we craft, we chat, kind of self-explanatory, right? So we've got people hanging out in the chat already. Good morning, hello. How are you all? Jackie says it's a new countdown. It's the same one. I think I clicked the same one we've been using for the last few weeks. I'm going to have to check now, Jackie. So welcome to the live craft and chat. This week has been an intense week. I have not had anywhere near enough sleep, and I'll tell you more about that shortly. I am working on my queen blanket. Let me know in the chat what you are working on. That would be amazing. So a little bit of housekeeping. We have mods in the house. We have Jackie and Sally are both here. They are the only ones who can put links into the chat. Okay, so if you've got something you want to share with the group, you need to jump over to the Fiberific Fun Zone over on Facebook, and you can share photos of what you're working on. Last week I went back after all my training and stuff that I had to do. We cut the live stream short. I went back and had a good look at all of the photos that you guys put up, and it was just mind-blowing. Kathy, you're working on the shawlology, is that right? And it's coming along beautifully. Your color choices were just so good. Kathy's asking how Louie is doing today. For those of you that are new or don't know, my little Havanese miniature poodle cross was diagnosed with a heart defect, and he needed to go in for some pretty intense doggy surgery last Thursday. Looking at him now, other than the weird doggy mohawk, you would think there's nothing wrong with him. Except we have to try and keep him calm for another 3 weeks. This is proving to be more difficult than we thought. He is absolutely like champing at the bit. We bought him like a little enclosure for inside the house so that he couldn't just run around. Turns out he knows how to open zips. So, you know, people are like, oh, you should get a clever dog. Makes it hard when they're clever, but he's doing really well so far. He's got another appointment with his vet next week for a checkup, but our usual vet came and had a little look at him, and she said he is healing quite well from what she could see. Okay. Jen Zeal says hello to all of the Yarny people. Hello, Jen. And Jen Homewood, welcome to the chat. You've been working a bit on de-hoarding stuff, knitting socks, but I'm more excited about cleaning out the stash of craft stuff. I know that feeling. I've been purging a little bit of bits and bobs, things that I know I'm never going to use. Put your hand up in the chat or put a thumbs up in the chat if, as you have ventured through your yarn crafting journey, you've looked back on some of your purchases and realized, nope, I'm never going to use that. So pop a thumbs up in the chat. Hey, Holly, welcome to the chat. Yeah, so pop a thumbs up in the chat if you have now sort of like outgrown maybe some supplies or something like that you thought was a good idea at the time, and it was a good idea at the time. But now, as you've progressed through your yarn crafting journey, you've realized maybe not. I could definitely put my hand up for that one. I have inside about 2 50-litre crates of yarns that I bought that were on sale, so they were ridiculously cheap, that I thought would be awesome to use. And then over the years, I've realized I hate them. Hate them, to the point where they are going in the wheelie bin. I'm not even going to donate them to charity. They're so bad. I don't want to inflict these upon anybody. So it is definitely one of those things. Lisby says, time for a poll. Absolutely, Lisby. We might have to pop a poll in the field a little bit later on. So you're definitely not alone if you have decided that there are things in your stash that you don't want anymore. And put your hand up if you have done a craft, bought all the things because you thought you were going to go all in on that craft, and then they've kind of just sat there because you've decided, you know, whatever time, whatever, you just don't want to do it. So yeah. Let me have a look here. There's a little bit of sensory overload happening here in the shack. Yesterday I was cutting out some stuff on the Cricut, because I've got a bulk order of tote bags to go out. Of the sorry, I'm busy crafting today of variety. And at some stage I knocked over my little pump of isopropyl. I picked it up, popped it back on the bench, but then I've locked the shack up and I've gone inside. I've come back in this morning to realize that there was I must have cracked that bottle when it fell on the floor. And now the whole shack just reeks of isopropyl. I've had the doors and windows open, but it's not helping. It's definitely not helping. Freaky's asking about pink blinglets. Have you still got some? I don't know what blinglets I've got. I'd have to look in the stock. What is listed is all that there is. I need to work out a way to do some more. Jackie said, oh, yes, projects half done that will get undone because of meh. That's another amazing one. That is, I've got projects that I worked on years ago that are in bags, project bags with all their stuff and all organized, ready just to keep going. And then I've realized I've looked at it and I've gone, I'm never going to wear that. I don't like it. So I'm going to reclaim that yarn. Lisa Larson says that she's got a stash of beading goodies. Do you think you'll get around to beading? Or do you think it would just be a very, very beautiful stash? John has some quilting stuff queued up. I haven't gotten around to the quilting yet, though. You'll get there. I've got, because I don't, like you guys know, I'm not a big sewer. I enjoy it. I'm not necessarily good at it. And I did a little quilting workshop, and it was a table runner. And it was just an online workshop. And I got all the toppers done, and I've cut out and done all the bottom bits. I've actually just got to join it all together. I don't know the terms. And run the quilting over it. And I've got all the equipment to do it, but it's just rolled up, collecting dust. So that was Christmas before last. I did that. So no, the one before that. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. Yeah, that's been there for some time. Kathy said, I gave up knitting for decades, but kept all my gadgets, and now I'm back to knitting. It does sometimes come back around, doesn't it? I cross stitched like a fiend for about 5 years, and I have all these like huge amount of cross stitching supplies. Haven't stitched a thing in 10 years, but I've been getting itchy fingers, and I'm like, I'd love to make that one. It's like just cute, quirky things to put in the background here. So Freaky says, I've got beading stuff sitting around too. I find they're not at all the same. So anything I try making with them is wonky. Oh, that happens sometimes with beads. Absolutely. Absolutely. John says, I have a few thousand aluminium rings for chain mailing. What were you going to chain mail? I've got a friend who does it, and their work is phenomenal. She's in the US, and she just does these just crazy, crazy things. Ruth says, I don't understand why I didn't get a notification. All I can say is YouTube, Ruth. YouTube. This is why it's good to know when the live stream's on, because even if you have gone through and you have clicked all the things and you have clicked the like, the subscribe, and all that stuff. Hang on, I covered it up. There you go. Even if you've done all these things, sometimes YouTube still don't send you the notification. I don't know why. Nobody knows why. And YouTube's thing is, we don't want to bombard people with notifications. It's just like, dudes, if I've asked for the notification, I want it. I want it. Yeah, Freaky, so this is the thing I've been concerned about as well. Stories where people toss things only to find that they need it months later. So there's things that I have not touched in 10 years. Some of those are going. I haven't touched them in 10 years. I don't think I'm going to use it. So, yeah. Sally has got her mocha and she's all settled. I have got my T2 Tealicious. No. Licorice legs, because my throat's been a bit itchy this morning. So that is going to help me out there, I'm sure. Jen Deal says, I used to be an award-winning quilter, but that was a different time. Yeah, my cross-stitch won a prize. I was very excited in a cross-stitching magazine. So that was exciting, but yeah, a different time. And as people, we grow and we change and our tastes change. So yeah. Sally says, I've got stuff to dye, but haven't done any for some time. Absolutely. So John O'Brien says, where is it? I've made bracelets and a wallet with the chainmail. Nice. Jennifer says, I have all of the things. I think I could tick that box, Jennifer. There's a lot of things I have. And there's only so many hours in a day, right? Like, I want to sew and I want to finish my blanket and I want to knit a thing and I've got Cricut stuff I want to do and I've got cross stitching I want to do, except I've only got this many hours and this many things. Oh, it's definitely one of those things. Oh, Freaky, that's the other one. For those of you wondering where your notifications are, they could come in a couple of hours after the live stream is over, for sure. Kathy says, I had my pumpkin spice latte for the year. I get just one a year. Is there a reason why you just get one? Is it like because that's all you need, or I don't know. Like, I've never had a pumpkin spice latte, so I don't know. Jennifer says, I used to be a long arm quilter, but became too unwell to do it anymore. I know those feelings. Definitely know that feeling. I like this. I clicked on it and it didn't come up. My ex-wife said I had too many hobbies, hence the X. My husband says that I've got too many hobbies, but his hobby is complaining about my hobbies, so I can't take that away from him. Oh, too many calories from Kathy. So yeah, I can imagine that it wouldn't be the healthiest, for sure. Now I'm just I brought my iPad out with the pattern on it, only to realize it had no charge. So I've been like madly trying to get it to charge enough to turn on, and it's on now. So I have the pattern. I've got my queen here. I'm going to go to the big desk view today. We are still going on the queen here. I'll just move my arm out of the way. There we go. Lots of beautiful colors. So many rows. But this is the halfway mark. This color here that we're working on now is the halfway mark. So, that's something, right? So let me know in the chat what you're all working on. Claire is in the house. Hello, Claire. Welcome. Just because they have none. Yes, that's what it is. I agree with you. Steph said, I used to make Christmas ornaments with styrofoam balls and sequins and beads, and I got bored with it and I haven't touched them in years. I think that's a big part of it. We definitely sort of change what our tastes and we grow. For those of you just joining the chat, I'm looking at you, Claire. We are talking about crafts and projects that we have done or used to do and we don't do anymore. One of the things I used to do a lot was I used to make a lot of jam, and all different jams. So I did the stock standard, strawberry jam and marmalade and things like that, which I love, don't get me wrong, and I really like a good marmalade. But I used to make this amazing 4 fruits marmalade. So I used to love that one. But my favorite was a kiwi fruit and apple jam, and it looked amazing and it tasted phenomenal. I was always so very happy with it. I'm just double check. You guys know the drill. I'm just getting through the first of the repeats here and working out what I've got to do and see if it's a hard one. And it's not a hard one at all. So I used to do that. And the other thing I made, which it was supposed to be banana jam, right? Except it was, you make it the same as jam. Bananas don't have any citric acid, so I would add in a little bit of lime or lemon juice, and it goes red. The potassium and the acid react under heat, and it turns into this really, really sort of vibrant pinky red in the pot. But I didn't like it just on toast or like treated like standard jam. I actually liked it on ice cream. It was more of an ice cream topping for me. It was so good and a little bit banana caramelly, I want to say. I used to love that. Joss has just finished part 13 of Charlotte's Universe. Oh my gosh, Joss, you're on fire. Oh my gosh. Jen says that I'm currently working, wishing I could be crocheting on my Montana, but I'm dying to start the Amma. I've got the Amma, and the more I look at it, the more I'm not that excited to start it. But I think it's because I don't want to get excited about anything because I need to do this one. We got Chopper in the house. Oh, hey, Chopper. You on your break, buddy. Have an awesome day at work today. I know you are busy, and I appreciate you jumping in. We had massive rain last night. So Ruth is working on her Amma right now, and Claire likes jam making as well. Jackie says maybe in a tart. Is that for the banana jam? Maybe in a tart. It was very sweet. So I don't know. I really don't know. It was good though. I should make more. I really should. The only reason that I haven't made more is because I just haven't made more. There's no like, oh, I hate jam or anything like that. I've still got a pile of jars, you know, still got access to fruit. Oh, Friday ketchup. That's hilarious. When you forget you're wearing a mask and you try to hold a stitch marker with your lips, fail. I can imagine. Hey, Justin, welcome to the chat. It is a party in here today. Absolutely. It's a party in here every week, right? A banana jam tart. Yeah, look, you would need to do something to it to cut through the sweetness, I think, because it is very, very sweet. Or make it one of those like super thin tarts where you just have a little bit of cream with it. I think that would be cool as well, for sure. But yeah, so I used to jam make, and I used to crochet tea towel toppers and sell jam and tea towel toppers at the garden club. I think I was the novelty because I was the only one who was not retired at the garden club. But because Abby was in a stroller. That's how long ago this was. Abby was in a stroller. So yeah, we used to do a lot of that sort of funness. Let me just check the chat here. It is always a party. It's always a party. Crochet Claire says I'm making her hungry. Sorry, Claire. I think I'm making myself hungry and realized I didn't have breakfast. So that was silly. I do forget to do that most days. I just sort of get on and do what I'm doing, and then I start thinking about food, and then I'm like, yes, I could eat. But yeah, no, not right now. Tea towel toppers, yeah. Does everybody in the chat know what tea towel toppers are? Let me know if you don't know what tea towel toppers are. Claire says, I think we are sisters. Crochet, jam making, garden club, and Uddies. I'm sure we have more in common than that, Claire. I am just trying to see. Chopper, what did you share on your page? But most of your audience is asleep. I did notice you had a new video come through, but I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. It's like my one-a-year biscuit production line for Christmas. Once a year. Yeah, Christmas, we always make more things. Like I used to make everybody a pack. They would get a pack. And in their pack, they would get whichever, like they would get marmalade because I love marmalade. So I always made tons of marmalade. So they would get a jar of marmalade, a jar of angry strawberry jam. And they would get a hot chocolate mix, homemade biscotti. But homemade biscotti tastes amazing. It is so hard to make because you got to bake it twice. So you bake it once and it's a little loaf, right? So then somehow you need to thinly saw these rocks into thin, beautiful crisps again to rebake them. I love eating them. I hate making them, honestly. So yeah, they would get their biscotti, they would get their jams. I would normally make some sort of small batches of specialty jam. And for my mum, lemon butter, because she just loves lemon butter. Mods, we need some help here. All right. I can't. There we go. Okay. The link is in the chat. The link to this chat. Sorry, Chopper. I'm not with it. So thank you. There we go. We've got that sorted. Excellent. Okay. Sorry about that, everybody. So there's some big old cake in your trash. I think I'll pass. I hope you're not offended, but I think I'll pass. Just having a little look here. Have a little look. My neighbors and brother get a box of biscuits or cookies. There's shortbread, almond crescents, gingerbread, lemon, orange, crinkles, chocolate chip, and anything else I feel like making. That sounds amazing. That really sounds like an amazing gift. So yeah. Yeah, Sally, I had a problem stopping it as well, to be honest. I just kept trying. I don't think the mod tools on YouTube are as good as I'd like. Dodo said that I made jam last year and I couldn't believe the amount of sugar that was needed. Absolutely. Jam cannot be a homemade jam cannot be a low sugar alternative, because the sugar serves a very important purpose. The sugar is your preservative. So if you cut out the sugar or try to use like a different form of sweetener, it could work temporarily and you could get one of those sort of like fresher jams, if that makes sense, but you can't keep it. It will go bad really fast and could make you really, really sick. It's just one of those things. I found that with all of them, they just required a lot of sugar, and it's just the nature of jam and preserves. They need the preservative, which the natural preservative is the sugar. So yeah. Yeah, I think that would just block for you, Claire, but I've done some things as well. Lisby says that I make decorated gingerbread for people, sometimes crochet tea towels. Oh, so crochet tea towel toppers. For those that you don't know, so you get a tea towel, right? And then you crochet the edge on it and create a little loop so that you can put it. I'm going to sneeze, you guys. I'm so sorry. Oh. It's all the isopropyl. It's doing my head in. But yeah, the tea towel toppers are like the crochet tops for tea towels that you can got the little buttons so you can hang it over your towel rail or over your oven door handle or whatever. Freaky says if you add apple to your jam, you can use less sugar, but not much less. No, that's right. Apple is full of pectin, which helps the jam to set. It doesn't actually help with the preserving, if that makes sense. Yeah, and which is why I add apple to my kiwi fruit jam. Just enough to help make it set, because kiwi fruit has no pectin, and I don't like using the fake pectin. Oh, wow. Last year I made dessert sauces for gifts. Jen says, you're in the middle point of your queen, Chantel. That section will take almost the whole skein. Are you talking about it'll take the whole wall? I did buy 2 just in case. Like I bought 2 of everything. So fingers crossed I have enough. Is that what you meant? It'll use the whole skein? Oh, thank you, Artzog. I appreciate that. Yeah, everybody can report those bad people in our chat, and then YouTube can do nothing because they generally do nothing. But at least they know that we've made reports. Chopper says he doesn't make anything for anybody. The apple seeds is where all the pectin is. Yeah, I cut the seeds out, but I leave a lot of the seed, that harder area, the woody area. I scoop that out. Crochet Claire says I hardly make anything for anyone. I don't make anything for anyone. I don't like anyone enough to make a blanket for them that takes a year. Honestly, like, yeah, I'm not that nice. I'm not that good a friend. If my brother's very lucky, I might make him some more socks. Yeah, definitely. So in the chat, how many of you have people in your life who expect you to make things for them just because you like making things? Like, they don't, and you don't want to do it. I don't like making things for people who just want you to make things because you can. It's like, don't you love it? It's like that the meme that runs around about, the person who contacted the Etsy seller and wanted them to make them a blanket, and the quote was like $300 or something. And they were like, oh man, I could totally buy one for this much. And it's just like, well, dude, buy it. Pearly Shaw is in the house. Hello, Pearly. Welcome to the chat. I'll put them in a cheesecloth bag that you can pull out later. I mean, that's smart. That's smart, Jackie. Chintami says none. They know better. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, wow. Your mum was like, you made blankets for the kids and strangers. Where's mine? It's like, dude, I don't know. Do you want one? Yeah, that's the little Muslim bags are fantastic for that. Sally says, me, but I can't say no to my nieces. Oh. Chopper says, you made me a rad beanie. I'm special. You are special, Chopper. Absolutely you are. And that is a rarity. I don't make things for people very often. I'm a selfish crafter. So if something actually gets finished, which is the other joke, I don't tend to give it away. I tend to keep it. We have a lot of crochet blankets in our house. I used to, but I politely disabused them of the notion. I love it. My mum always wants to pick yarn for her Montana. I'm like, woman. Holly says I have co-workers that are like that. Yes. Oh, I like this. My sister doesn't even ask for cakes anymore. She just sends the demands. She does spoil me, though. I like that. That's cute. That is cute. My brother is trying to convince me to create a YouTube channel to monetize my craft time because it can't just be a fun thing. What? Really? I mean, tell your brother to ring me and I'll tell him how much money you'll make on YouTube. Like, personally, you guys know my feels on YouTube. I love YouTube, right? Absolutely love it. And I think that if you want to speak and you have something to say, YouTube is a great place to do it. Absolutely. But for those people that think that you just jump onto YouTube and instantly make thousands of dollars a month, that's just not how it is. It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of like learning and skills, and not that it's not worth it. I think it's worth it if you want to do it. But people like your brother who are just like, you need to monetize your craft because you don't get to have craft time unless you do. I'm just like, so annoyed. Anyway, sorry. Oh, so annoyed. She never wanted to learn to knit or crochet from her mother and grandmother. I had to learn on my own because they wouldn't teach me. Oh, that's rude. Jancy says that when people ask me now, I tell them I'll help them make it. I love that. That is awesome. I make everything for others. Really, my hubby complains he has no blanket. You should make him a blanket. Absolutely. If he'll look after it. I've made this for family accidentally. My mother getting my hand knit socks woven. Oops, What happened there? Come back. Woven band shawls. My brother doesn't ask. He's grateful and occasionally sends me things he's made. Yeah, because he understands, because he's also a creative. Most of my crochet is for other people, but if I don't think they're crochet worthy, they don't get anything. There are people in my life that are not crochet worthy. I like that. He said, I could find a community of like-minded people. It was like, I found them Thursday mornings. Yeah, there are some, look, you know what? I don't want to disabuse you of doing a YouTube channel if you want to do one, right? I'm just annoyed at his attitude. I think that if you wanted to do one, you could have a really good time with it. But I don't like it when people just assume that, oh, just make a YouTube channel and monetize it. And you're just like, yeah, okay. Because they're the people that are not going to be the ones who have to do the work. And they bother me. Claire says, if only we made thousands a month. I know. They're your feels as well. Yeah, absolutely. Because like having a YouTube channel is awesome and it's fun. And I would never have gotten to like chat with most of you guys without this channel. It wouldn't have happened. And I'm so grateful for that. And I love this community and I think it's fantastic. But if it's something that you're being pushed into by other people for money, then I don't think you'll enjoy it the same. I think the motives have to be right. Yeah, especially when it comes to something like crafting and being creative. And yeah, it's definitely something that you have to want to do. So Claire says, because it's so easy and you don't need to learn a thing on how to be successful. Yeah, absolutely. That's right. You just jump in and all of a sudden you're famous. Steph says, my dad keeps telling me I need to start a channel. I don't want to be on camera. Well, if that's the only thing stopping you from starting a channel, there are plenty of YouTube channels out there where you never see the creator. So I personally feel that I like having, like, I don't like being on camera as such, but I feel that we have a better connection because my face is there. I don't know if that makes sense. I definitely feel like there's a better connection. So that and that works for me. But there are hundreds of thousands of channels that don't show a face. So if that's the only thing stopping you, then maybe consider a channel without a face on it. Possible if you really want it. Lisby says, I don't want to, but apparently I'm medically retiring and having time to figure stuff out isn't okay. Well, you know what I think about that? I think this very important thing. Are you ready? You can pass this on to your brother. You got a pen and paper. This is what I want you to tell your brother. You ready? That's it. That's all he gets. That's all he deserves. It's your life. It's not his. So that's my life advice for everybody. I have made lots for others. My daughter says mum sells some of it. Well, this is the thing. Are you the kind of person that would lose your passion for what you're doing if it became a job? If you had to do the work? Like if you were like, right, I've got to finish this blanket by this deadline, or I've put a blanket online and photos and people can buy it because you don't want to work to a deadline. But then you've got to deal with people's comments. So yeah. Lisby, I'm going to tell you something right now. I don't know of a single person except for maybe Chopper. And actually, I'm not even sure of Chopper, but I don't think anybody likes the sound of their voice on when you record it. I can tell you it is the thing that I hate the most when I'm editing, is listening to me say things. Justin, that is spelled so that would be THRRRP. just so you know. Yeah. He needs to mind his own business and leave you alone. I agree. This is where we all go for our life advice with Chantel. Chantel, who gets nothing right, but is more than happy to dole it out. Bam. So yeah. Stephanie says yes, because I put enough pressure on myself with my own deadlines. Absolutely. John gave the US spelling. Sorry, John. Yeah. We do spell it differently. Must be an Australian US thing. Sorry about that. Claire says that when she hears herself editing, it's cringeworthy. See, and Claire has edited, what is it, nearly 1,000 videos, Claire, that you have up on your channel? That's a lot of cringing if you don't like the sound of your own voice. Yeah, it's definitely, there's parts of being a creator that people love and don't love, but expecting to just, when it's not something you want to do and you're being pushed into it by somebody else for a start, makes it hard because you don't want to do it. It's like anything, any tasks that we don't want to do, it is always that little bit like, ugh, I don't want to do that. So, but if it's something you want to do, then you put the effort in. You learn how to do the editing. You persevere through listening to your own voice. But it is 100% okay for you to just enjoy your craft. You don't have to monetize every second of your life. You've got to be able to enjoy something, right? That's my feels on that. Got to be able to enjoy part of your life without it being monetized. I'm going to check. I'm going to drink some tea and I'm going to check the chat. Um, 12 more to go to get to 1,000. Oh my gosh, Claire, that is amazing. I'm just getting more tea, you guys. We finished a cup already. So hang on. Topping it up. Lisby, save me from people who mean well. Absolutely, Holly. Because they do. They think they're giving you good advice. They really do. But unless he's a YouTube creator himself and he's got like some sort of inside lane that we don't know about, then you don't do it unless you want to. Freaky says, is Claire just like Fiberific, easy to listen to for 6 hours or more? Freaky, no one enjoyed listening to me for 6 hours. Like, seriously, people left and came back. That's the only way they could deal with it. Sally says that she couldn't do it. Absolutely. And I think it's important for us to know our limitations and know what we liked and enjoy and what needs to be work and what can be play. We can enjoy things without making it work. So like you guys know, for me, right here at Fiberific, I sell yarn crafting supplies. I make live streams where we talk about yarn and all other things as well, but yarn as well. And I spin yarn and I do lots of other things. But do you guys see my hand spun yarn for sale? No, because that's for me. That's mine. I don't spin custom spins for anybody. When I was dyeing, I didn't custom dye for people. There are things that I kept for myself. And while I would spin on live streams, and I still spin on live streams, I still don't sell the hand spun yarn. It's mine. I keep it. And I think it's important, especially with these crafts that take hours and hours and hours and hours to make. Like, it's not like you can knock out a sweater for somebody. If you're knitting them a sweater, you can't knock one out in 2 or 3 hours. It is weeks worth of commitment. So you just have to think about what you want. Someone once waged to buy a pair of socks I was making. I think I said, sure, it's $1 a stitch. And then they found out how many stitches are in a single sock. They lost interest. Yeah, Absolutely, they would have. How many stitches are there? Was like average is like 64 a row. How many rows? Like it's got to be hundreds. That makes for a very expensive pair of socks. Pearly just ventured into the world of public Instagram. I'm not even going to try YouTube. My daughter will tell me I'm too lectury anyway. Rubbish, Pearly. There is a place on YouTube for every type of content. Seriously. There are lawyers and plumbers and drywall specialists, yarn crafters, doctors, like all sorts of stuff. All sorts of stuff. Lisby, I agree. That's a brilliant way to put someone off, isn't it? Lisby says, I'm very happy you do this. I found my tribe through you. Oh, I'm so glad that you found us. That is awesome. Let's all make our own channels and sub to each other and then never get anything else done because we're too busy watching everyone else. Because that's the catch, isn't it? We've had this discussion before, that if you sub to someone's channel, you need to watch their content. That's just that's the rules. Like we don't play sub for sub here. You gotta be involved. I was going to listen to War and Peace and Audible, but the guy had this snooty accent. I was like, I am not listening to that dude for 61 hours. Oh, yes, I know that feeling. That I'm really glad that you can listen to a snippet, like the sample, before you buy the book, because there are times I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to be great. And then I listen to whoever's going to be speaking and I'm like, nope, no. Like there was, is it Overlander? Outlander? I haven't read the books or watched the series or anything because I tried to listen to the audiobooks, except the lady voicing the audiobook sound like my nana. And from what I'd heard about some of the plot lines, let's just go with that, I thought there is no way I want my nana reading me this. So I didn't go there. Holly says, it seems like it's the people who don't do anything creative that are the ones that want you to monetize your work. Yeah. And that's something I've noticed as well. And they are probably very well-meaning. They're probably very well-meaning. They understand how long things take you to do. But it's okay to just do your craft. It really is okay. Like we had someone in a few weeks ago. I can't think of his name. It was like a Pokemon channel. And his dad was trying to tell them that they needed to monetize and start selling their creations. But they didn't want to because that's not why they made them. So, yeah, it's a bit tricky. It's very tricky. Yeah, and that's the thing. It does take time. You need some time. You need time to make the content. You need time to learn how to make content that people are going to watch. You need to learn how to possibly edit, which is getting easier. There's a lot of apps and stuff that are making life a bit easier now. There's just so many things. There's so many things to learn. So you do need a bit of time, or allow a long amount of time, if that makes sense. Claire, we love having you here. We do. And I agree with you. It's such an amazing community of people and we can talk about all different things. So when someone said to me, I got asked a couple of weeks ago, so what do you talk about on your live streams for 2 hours? Like, how can you live stream for 2 hours? And I was like, we kind of talk about everything. Like, we are yarn crafting while we talk, but we talk about everything, absolutely anything and everything. And I think that's a good thing because it kind of is like when you go to a craft group. Do you sit there at a craft group and only talk about yarn and craft things? When you're sitting around the table, everyone's got their craft out and their coffee and they're all chatting. Is every single conversation for the entire time about yarn? And I'm sitting there and I'm sort of thinking to myself, every good craft group I've been to, there's been more. You talk about more. You create connections, about different things. And sometimes for sure it's about yarn, because that's the connecting thread. See what I did there? That's the connecting thread that is keeping everybody at the table. But yeah, I always just think it's really bizarre. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Every audio book needs to be recorded by Jim Dale. As in Jim Dale, the Australian, or is there another Jim Dale I don't know about? Yes, it does not match the books. Absolutely. I started weaving it, and all my friends are talking to me and telling me I have to sell them. Yeah, absolutely. And maybe you don't want to mass produce. That's exactly right. Absolutely. Lisby is right here again as well. I mean, I make some cakes for family and friends, and I put a touch on top of product cost for me. But even then, I don't want to be a business. Absolutely. And that's what you have to think of when you start a YouTube channel, unless you are doing it straight up for a hobby, which is also 100% legit. You've got to think of it like a business, because it needs to. Dino Chew, I was just talking about you. Dino Chew. We're talking about selling crafts again, and you came to mind. I think only like a couple of minutes ago. You may have already been here and heard it. I was so bummed when Andy Weir's new book came out, and I realized the reader was one that I couldn't stand. I still listened to the book, but it was hard. Oh, that would have been so frustrating. I used to sell my shawls at a local cafe, and I had a lady return one nearly a year later with moth damage. It took the pleasure clean out of it. Yeah, absolutely. I can imagine it would have. You think he's a Brit? He was a narrator. I don't know. I'll have to have a listen. And I think the book that I've got of the Harry Potters is Stephen Fry reading it. I'll have to have a listen now. I'll have to double check. Claire, sorry, as Emma says, sitting here as I mass produce notions pouches for advent calendars. But this is the different thing. This is something you decided you wanted to do. It's different than having someone go, you have to do this. It's so different. Pearly says, I'm happy gifting socks to knitworthy friends to allow me to keep buying more yarn. Oh, I am thinking of Alan Dale. I am. Yeah. And he played Jim. That's where the confusion is. Because that was about the last time I watched Neighbours. Like 25 years ago. You can hear my pigeon. Oh, there was a bird stomping on the roof. Could you hear that? Oh, you can hear the birds in the background? Yeah. Yeah, they're around. The rain has sort of temporarily paused, so they're probably just quickly getting out and getting food before it comes gushing down again. It's absolutely bucketing here. Oh, the UK version. Okay, well, look, I'm just going to check now because I've got it. Just hang on. This is the wrong glasses for this job. Audible. Where is my library? I've got so many books in Audible. Oh my goodness, 73 titles. Okay, so there's the Harry Potters. It doesn't say who's reading, it just says the author. Let me just have a quick squiz. Come on. I don't need to download the whole thing to read to check. There we go. This is oh, I'll get in trouble for this. Hang on a second. I'll have to look at it later. But yeah, I think I've got Stephen Fry. Louis is good. Louis doesn't understand that he's had open heart surgery and he's not allowed to run around or jump up and down on things. We bought what we call the dog prison, which is a like an inside space. It's like 1.5 meters hexagon. It's not too tall, but it's tall enough, and you can zip the lid closed, and it's got a little door, and you can zip that closed. Well, turns out Louis knows how to work zips, so we're struggling very hard to keep him in. So we pop him in when we've got to do school runs and things like that when we can't keep an eye on him. And I get home and he's on the windowsill, so he sits up on the chair looking out the window, and I go in and this thing's been trashed, and there's a hole like this big where he's managed to get the zip open enough to get his little tiny dog head out, and then he's up and out. I'm just like, oh God. Like, how do we explain this to the surgeon? Like, seriously, dude, we did ask if it was possible to get, I'm just freaking out now. How many times have I stuffed that up? No. Can we get some sort of sedative for him to keep him a bit relaxed? And he was like, oh no, he's very calm. It'll be fine. I'm like, dude, you've got no idea what we're going to have to deal with. So we've been having to keep Tibbles away from Louis because Tibbles the cat likes to play with Louis. By playing, runs away, and Louis chases him. And he's not allowed to play chase. He's not allowed to run. He's allowed to have 3 to 4 walks outside of the house for short amounts of time. We all know what those walks are for. And that's it. So, yeah. Sue Ellen, how was what spelt? Just out of curiosity. I'm just trying to work out where you are in the stream. Padlock the zips. So we can padlock, like we're just going to use cable tie or even a ribbon is enough. The zip on the little door, but on the roof, it's just one zip head and it comes around to like a stitched in point. So there's not a second zip head. And I tried gaff taping that, and Louis just, it's like it wasn't even there. We can't even find the gaff tape now. So Louis is just a little bit too clever for me. He's a bit cleverer than I am, which is not really that hard, but he definitely does not want to be in there. So because after live stream today, I am off to get my second vaccine. Tim's home to keep Louis company because Tim's office is able to, he's able to work from home fairly regularly, which is cool, which is so hilarious because, before all this, they were like, no, you cannot do this, bro. You can't. It's, against all the rules, because Tim works for a company that's pretty heavy security. And then after all of this, they're like, yeah, sure, Totes, work from home whenever you want. Yeah. They've worked out that everyone can do it and everything stayed secure. So, but yeah, so Tim's got today and tomorrow that he's working from home. So we are planning for the fact that I may be cactus tomorrow, because most people I know, second jab, they have had a day where they've had fevers and headaches. So, we're allowing the time just in case. But today it was more like, okay, I can't have him in here running around like a loon trying to keep him calm while I'm live streaming. So if you can keep him inside for the live stream, that would be great. So it was more about hanging out with you guys without Louis, being insane. Safety pin for the top of the zip. That is fantastic. Can you sew on a loop? Yeah, I could. Totally. I never even thought of any of these things. Louis ate the gaff tape. I'm guessing he ate the gaff tape because he eats everything. Like, he loves plastic. It's an issue. It's an issue. So yeah, so Tim's inside working away very hard while we hang out here and craft and chat. And yeah, it's a bit of fun. Keeping Louis in his little thing at night has also been tricky. We've been woken up very, very early in the morning. 2 nights ago, it was 2 a.m. that he started waking us up. And then the night before last, it was 3. And this morning, it was just when the clap of thunder hit at 4. And we think that we were awake And we were worried about him because he was sitting bolt upright with very big eyes. So we were concerned that he'd gotten scared, which, you know, when you're not supposed to, you know, they've got a heart issue and they've just had heart surgery. The last thing you need is, you know, for their heart to be beating faster because they're terrified of something. So, yes. But that's why I've had terrible sleep the last few days, because Louis keeps waking me up, because what he does is he escapes his prison and then comes and scratches on the side of the bed. So yeah, it is definitely one of those things. You don't want him eating a safety pin. No, we don't. And I'm thinking actually putting a stitch on and like making it so I can clip the zip to the stitch with like a carabiner or something. I think that will be better. Claire's asking everyone to throw an emoji into the chat. I would like to see what your favorite emojis are. That is cool. I'm going the fires are out, Pearly. Yeah. So my favorite emoji, which I'm not going to type in, but I'll tell you what it is. It is the winky face, the wink face one. I use it all the time. I probably use it in instances where I should probably not use the winky face, but I like the winky face because it feels cheeky, and I'm a cheeky person. So I think it suits me. Let's have a look. There's a shark. Leanne, the second I saw the shark, I knew it was you, honestly. Yeah, Pelly, I can't take Nurofen, but I can do Panadol. So I've got lots of Panadol. So yeah, no Nurofen for me. But I'm as prepared as I can be for the possibility of what will happen. So we'll see. Fingers crossed it doesn't happen. How nice would that be? I think it's unlikely that it wouldn't happen. What's Chill Cat? Let me look. Stella. Oh, I like that. I can't see it in my chat that I've got here. I just get the words, but over on the YouTube chat, I get it. Freaky's popped a few in, so show. I think I've got some rules about how many emojis in a row you can put or something, so that, you know, spammers can't just put gross things in, lots of them. So just pop in 1 or 2. I think 3 is the limit. Freaky says, I use the winky face a lot and smile. Oh, and the crying with tears. I love crying with tears as well. Absolutely. So many good emojis. So many good emojis. Leanne says that she is great for her second jet. Oh, that's awesome to know, Leanne. Freaky says some of these are new to them. Sally, have you got a peacock? Is that what that is? Jackie's got a snowflake. Shocking. Shocking. Oh, wow. Yeah, so, I mean, I've been sitting here blathering on about what I've been working on, what I've been doing for the last hour. Let me know in the chat what you're working on. And if you are planning on popping a link over, or not a link, or a photo over into the fun zone so that we can check it out. Let me look here. Claire's got a pretty red bird there. Okay, that's perplexing. On the YouTube chat, it's blue, and in StreamYard, it's a red bird. So odd. So odd. The web ones are a little different to the phone app ones. Yeah, absolutely. Sally's popped a link in for the Fun Zone. If you are not a member of the Fun Zone, all you have to do to become a member is answer the questions. If you don't answer the questions, you will be left languishing in the middle world of nothingness, and you won't be allowed in the group, because we want to make sure that you're not there to sell us sunglasses or wigs. So yeah. Willow squares for another blanket. And Kathy's going to pop in a photo in the group when she finishes her section 1. Hoot hoot. April on secret squirrel stuff and packing up an advent calendar. Yes. Working on secret squirrel stuff. That makes more sense. Sally says, why not? Why not what, Sally? I'm confused. Claire is being cheeky. The answer is not yet. I've been tossing up whether or not, I think we mentioned this last week briefly, whether or not to move from Patreon over here to YouTube memberships. And I think it would be better because it would mean that we could instantly, see benefits and have funness. But I'm not 100% certain I want to do it. So we'll see. I probably will do it, but I want to do something with it first. And that will take time. So, not yet. Bub says, I am finishing my socks and a gnome, thinking of starting the shawlography. Nice. Leanna's got so many projects on the go, which is really not like me at all. No, it's not. You're definitely more of a one project at a person time. Found a recipe for a bookmark. Do you mean a pattern? Making it with my UV reactive yarn for my niece. Nice. Oh, Sally, that makes more sense. If you're not a member of the fun zone, why not? I agree. I do know that some people aren't Facebook people. They don't like Facebook. So I understand that. I really do. But I haven't really found anywhere else that's easy to make a group off Facebook because, like we had those Facebook outages. And it's one of those things like when you build your business on borrowed land, like YouTube and Facebook and all the things, if something happens to them, they're gone. And that's really sad. So I would love to work out another place that we could host the Fiberific Fun Zone, but it would need to be somewhere that's still easy, if that makes sense. It's got to be easy for people. Jennifer is making a granny stripe and I'm teaching a daughter's friend to crochet starting this weekend. That sounds so fun. I love teaching new people crochet. I'm spinning and I'd like someone to make an exercise bike spinning wheel. Have a look at the sidekicks from Shacked. That they're probably a good option. Hey, Beth. 7 rows left on your sacred space blanket. You lost your Crochet for a while, but I'm back now. I know that feeling. I lost my Crochet on this for like a year, but it's back. It's back. Stella's making a cat stitch rug. Jennifer is also working on the shawlography. Oh, I don't even know what to say about that. It's a pattern, yeah. Holly says, I only keep a Facebook account for the crochet groups. Yeah, and there's a few people that are like that. And there's people that just will not do it at all. Chintami says Discord is easy. We do have a Fiberific Discord. I did make one. We just never really used it. And I don't know if a lot of people... How does everybody in the chat feel about Discord? Do you all know what it is? Because we've got a Fiberific Discord. We just never really used it. I only keep, there we go, sorry. Making the face cloths and procrastinating about the next project. I'm one of those people that's not on Facebook. Otherwise, I'd be there. See, I know that there's people like you, Dolores, who don't like Facebook for whatever reason. Or there's some countries actually that can't access it. So there's also that. Hang on a second. There's this fighting going on here. No, I'm going to be first. Ha ha ha. Well, it'll. Do you know what? I could message you both at the exact same time and just see who clicks it first. That could be a thing. I could do that. That would make me feel good. Then I don't have to choose. Yeah, Chintami, there's heaps of things you can do in Discord for sure. Yeah. Crazy Aunt Nicole is doing some spinning for the 11T1 windmills. Sally said that I've just discovered Discord, and yes, that is easy. Kathy's never heard of Discord. I kind of know what Discord is, but I haven't checked it out. What I might do is over the next few days, depending on, if I'm dead or not, well, not dead, but, really sick or feverish or whatever. And I'll have a look into it, and I'll throw the link over onto the fun zone for now. And if anybody else wants it, because we definitely have one. I made it like years ago, unless they get closed down. They could be closed down. I'll have a look. But there's all sorts of stuff, and you guys could set up like audio calls with each other as well. Artsog says as good as used it for gaming for a while now. I originally, I've got multiple accounts, and my other account I use for gaming stuff. Lisby, we have a Ravelry group, but it just didn't really go anywhere. No one really got into it. But there is definitely, if you look for Fiberific, there is a Ravelry group. Die is not a Facebook fan. Yep. Yeah, so there's a lot of people who know what Discord is. Dolores says, I just don't have any social media. I'm strongly considering starting an Instagram page. Yeah. You can do lives on Discord as well. Jackie, the point of moving to YouTube memberships is so I don't have to manage a separate site. That's true. That's true. And if I decided to move Fiberific Chat to Discord, I would use less Facebook, if that makes sense. Because, yeah, you're right. I am trying to consolidate things a little bit. Wouldn't it be nice if YouTube as a social media site somehow had some way for us to interact with each other when I'm not live? Wouldn't that be amazing? Jen says, I'm not a social media fan. And I think that's the thing with Discord. It's sort of less social media. You go to the Discord that you want to go to. That's it. I'm allowed to play favorites. Oh dear, you guys are the worst. Absolute worst friends. You make it so hard. So hard. Pearly has no idea about Discord. We can have a look. I'll have a look into it. And what I can do is I can just throw the link out there, and any of you that are in the fun zone can go and have a look and see if it's able to if you like it. Crazy Out Nicole, some channels do have community tabs, yes, but it's not that kind of community. It's really not. It's kind of, and from what I'm hearing, they're going to be phased out. Oh, no, it's the discussion tabs that are being phased out. So community tab is staying. Community tab is more for me to post things for the community, and you guys can respond to it. Yeah, see, Claire's written what it is. It would be better if it was a little bit more like a group than an announcement board, and that definitely feels like an announcement board. I can post something, and you guys can totally respond to it. I don't know if you can you respond with a photo? I don't even know if you can respond with a photo. I'll have to have a look. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Dolores says my kids use Discord, so I'm sure they'd walk me through. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so the community tab is staying, and it is the discussion tab that looks like it's going to be phased out. So, yeah. And they've literally just rolled out. So for those of you here that I know there's a few of you that have your own YouTube channels, not including you, Claire, because yours is like crazy big, but there is a rollout that's starting, I want to say today or maybe yesterday, where channels with 500 subs can now get access to the community tab, whereas it used to be you had to have 1,000. So, yeah. No photo for the, okay, there you go. So no photos. So you guys couldn't post photos of what you're working on, which defeats the purpose. I want to see what you're working on. So I need you to be able to post photos. So to me, if you can't post photos, then that's not going to work. Do you know what, John? There's a thing I try to do on Instagram. It's this thing where you make the rainbow color fonts, like, right? And I can never get it to work. And I'm like, Abby, I want to do the rainbow font thing. And she comes out grumbling like, and just goes, and it's done. But yeah, I know that feel. Definitely. But you know what, you guys, I love our community and I love how we can talk about anything and everything, and that we all like yarn craft, or at least enough to sit through hours of somebody doing it, whether you create your own things or not. And I love that. And I love that you guys are open to helping me make a better community for us, somewhere that more of us can be included and make it more of an inclusive community space. I was a little nervous when I was going to suggest it, because I was expecting everyone to be all like, no, I love Facebook. I don't want to leave Facebook. But everyone's just like, yeah, Discord sounds all right. So, I mean, it just shows to me, whether or not Discord ends up being the place, it just shows to me that it is a possibility. So yeah. Kathy says, I'm not tech savvy and my tech geek is 17 hours away. Kathy, you got us. We'll help you. John says, what's that other thing that gamers use other than Discord? I have that too. Oh, there's a few things that gamers use, so you might need to narrow that down for me. So hang on, I'm up to the little end bit here. I'll drop us down to the other camera. I'm up to we got through a row, everybody. We did a row. So I know what you, I'm trying to think of it. Hang on a second. I've done something wrong. So it's, hang on. 1, 2, then that. 1, 2, then that. Okay. All right. I can't count is the problem. I cannot count. I shall count now. I'll have to look at it. Do you get bombarded with stupid ads on Discord? I don't know. I haven't been in for a while. I don't think you do. There is a Fiberific Twitch channel as well, believe it or not. I use it for testing, so there's nothing up there, but I go in there and test things out. It's Fiberific Fun Zone on Twitch. So we do have a Twitch channel. What it is, right, you guys, is I went around pretty well everywhere and grabbed Fiberific. So that was a couple of years ago. So pretty much anything that you could grab a username for, I tried to grab the Fiberific username. So Twitch is similar to this. It's for live streaming. And there's, I think Twitch Creative and Twitch Gaming got merged. So I think it's just twitch.tv now. And you can do this, except it's got a different chat feature and there's a lot of other, it's fun. You should go and check it out. I love Twitch. I love YouTube as well. But I think I'm going to stick with YouTube for creating videos and for live streaming. I don't want to live stream anywhere else. So yeah, I'm at the end. Skizzers. I can't find my other ones, but luckily my throw things on the floor. Whoops. Cricket's just right there, so I'll use my little trusty Cricket snips. Oh, look, now I find my scissors under my phone. Good job. Well done. Clever. There's the scissors there. Okay. End of the row. We are on to row 100. It's actually more than that, but on the charts it's called row 100. Purple. We've got to get through this purple yarn bath. This was the center of the ball. It's doing my head in. I don't like it. Let me join on. You guys can tell me. Vanfia says, I'm always on Discord and Facebook. Happy either way. See, Vanfia, I'm kind of the same. I'm happy as long as, like, the reality is I just want to be in one place, though. So if we went to Discord, there would be a lot less happening. I'd leave the fun zone open for you guys, but I'd probably jump into it less. Or would I, is the question. I would think I would jump into it less, but like the reality is this is me we're talking about. John says, sign up, grab my username and never look back. Yeah, I've done that for a few things. What am I doing? I am doing that. Okay. Discord and Twitch best used on mobile devices or on the computer. You can use them for either. They both work on both. Twitch has a mobile app. I believe Discord has one as well, but I'm not 100% certain about that. Dido says, I'm still loving the queen, not interested in the amma. It's not my style. Yeah, look, I like the idea of the amma, but I'll tell you what puts me off. I don't like that I can't just go out and buy all the yarn that I need. You know, like that's the thing. I don't like that I can't just, because I need to convert the yarns, because I'm not going to use the one that she's got in her kit. And, you know, depending on whatever style you do is different, and changes things up. I'm just having a squeeze here. So that one, then 2, then that one, then 3, and then we're into the first repeat. 3, and this one. These ends are scary. These ends are not being woven in, Stella. So this has like an amazing, I'm not sure if you've seen it. I haven't done it, so I'm sure it's going to be annoying when I go to do it. There's a way that you encapsulate them with a double-sided border that you work, and you just sort of poke them in there. So I'll probably go through and trim them down a bit shorter. Is that what I do, Jen? Do I trim the ends just a little bit shorter? Jen says you can use yarn from your stash, but I don't have enough of anything blanket-wise in my stash. That's the problem. We're not sewing them in. Not happening, Jan. I've just finished making a huge plate of leftover veggie fritters, and I know they will get eaten this way. Fridge open, grab fritter, smash it with pepper, gone. Yeah, I'm coming to your place, Leanne. I do prefer my fritters heated though, so if you can, you know, turn on a pan. Amelia Nicole, you made it. Awesome. I want to see this border. So all you need to do to see the border, because I haven't done it yet, but go and check out, I'm just double checking I'm not screwing anything up here. Go and check out Tina's YouTube channel for this, and she has tutorials on how to do her closed border. So yeah, as part of the pattern, which is why I opted for this one. I mean, I do have some ends to weave in where I've like joined balls like part the way through the project. Like seriously, where's what? There we go. There's some there. There should be some purples. There we go. There's a purple one. So there are a couple of ends that I will be weaving in, but nothing, you know, crazy. So it's one of the advantages of this pattern is that you don't weave in the ends. Knot them together and cut. Oh, there you go, Stella. John's got photos of his in the fun zone, so you can check out the edge there. Double borders are not bad. I do crochet clock version of the double border. Oh, is that the one that John was telling me about where you single crochet twice and then you use one for the front and one for the back? Is that right? Because I'm loving the idea of that and I want to do that. But I'm going to need to go and find the video because, yeah. I'm loving the yellow tones. How good is the border going to be? I'm tossing up with the border. I was just going to do a straight purple border. No mosaic on the border. But I don't know now. I don't know now. Vampi said, aside from the round that works into the back loop of the slip stitches, I loved making the border. And I think that's why there's this alternate version where you you slip stitch on both sides. So yeah. Kathy striped her border. So I'm going to have to go and look at everyone's borders now. Anyone who's made a queen, can somebody start a thread in the Fiberific Fun Zone and you all just drop a photo of your queen border so I can, you know, scope it out. 1, 2, 3, and then 1. Because, yeah, I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want to do. I'm a long way from the border. I am just at the halfway point, believe it or not. John just posted his queen shot. So if anyone else wants to jump in and pop your queen shots in under John's, that would be cool. Into the fun zone there. Oh, hello, bird. Barbara's back. I heard it stomping on the roof. Hang on, I'm just... I just got a message from Abby. I'm just double checking it. Oh, okay. So the message from Abby is that she is now apparently eligible to enroll to vote. I'm going to have to reread that because that just seems wrong, right? Because she's not old enough for that, is she? Oh my gosh. Because you can be old enough to enroll, but you still have to wait till you're 18 to actually vote. Is that right? Oh. I just automatically felt really old then. Yeah. Freaky geek. Oh my gosh. I've got the wrong stitch there, so let's fix. Sorry, I'm all distracted now. I'm all distracted. This is terrible. Is it 18 to vote in every country, or is that an Australian thing? Abby does not turn 18 by the next election, I don't think. Not if there's elections next year. She's only 16. USA is 18 to vote. Australia is 18 to vote. I think UK is 18 to vote. I've got a question for those of you that are in from USA, right? If your kids are old enough to help choose the political party that runs your country, why aren't they old enough to order a beer? Like, not that I'm going to be rushing out encouraging everybody to drink at 18 or anything silly like that, but I've just always been perplexed by that. Like, they're allowed this level of trust, except you're not allowed to be trusted enough to not, be booze dumb. In Canada, you just have to be breathing to vote. Okay. Bempy said the two of mine that are old enough to vote waited until they were 18 to enroll. Okay. Oh, yeah, good point, Jen. Okay, yes, also that. Old enough to go and fight in wars, but not old enough to order a beer or beverage of adult beverage of their particular choice. Crazy Aunt Nicole says everyone in the US just drinks at 18 anyway. We just did it illegally at house parties. Fair enough. 17 to drive, 18 to vote, join the military, sign contracts, 21 to drink and smoke, 25 to rent a car, and 35 to be president. I didn't realize there was an age limit on being president. I suppose I always just assumed you'd have to be in the industry long enough to have, be popular. Popular? Is that the word I wanted? Probably not. Okay. Cool. Interesting. I think it's pretty well. I don't know what it is to rent a car in Australia. Is there an age limit on renting a car? I know you have to have a credit card. But I don't know if there's an age limit. So in Australia, it's 16 to get your L's, 17 to get your provisional license, which means you can drive without an adult if you've passed the test. 18 to vote, drink, sign contracts. 16 to medically make your own decisions. So you don't have to have a parent with you. You can if you want, but you don't have to. Yeah. Steph, I agree with you. Yeah. I think, like obviously the individual needs to be taken into account. 25 not to pay the world for car insurance. Yeah. Yes, there's a bit of that. One age limit is to rent the car, but heaps more because of all the insurance and stuff. Oh, you can't get your L's till you're 17 in Victoria. Okay. Didn't know that. Dido says American 18-year-olds are drinking. Don't worry about it. I was just thinking about legal ages, though. Most car hire in Australia requires you to have a full license and be over 25. If you're under 25 and they allow you, there will be a fee. I grew up in the country. Yeah, the rules are different in the country, aren't they, Artog? 16 for L's in Victoria. Okay. So we've got 16 for L's, 17 for green peas, 18 for red peas. We've got two different provisional sections in Queensland. I don't know about other states. I really don't. Yeah. I wonder if we can get 2 rows done during this live stream. What do you guys reckon? So 15 for the permit, 16 for the license, says Ruth. Wow. Okay. Very funny, John. Have you put Freaky's hat on? I was driving my mum and dad's car in our property young. But not properly learning to drive, if that makes sense, like not road rules or anything, just how to change gears and stuff, how to do a handbrake around a corner. Let's not go there. Bub Curran is having cold watermelon. Nice. Is it raining for you, Bub? It's raining so much for us, but I know you're much further west. Oh my goodness. You guys. So I've got homework to do. I've got to, we've got to work out if we want to move from Facebook to Discord or to somewhere else. We've got to decide if we're going to have channel memberships. And probably close down the Patreon. I'd leave the Patreon there for people who want to do it that way, but I would go in and change it and just make it a single level on Patreon. Thank you, Jackie, for putting in the description of the P plates for our provisional drivers. So yeah, you have to have L plates on your car while you are learning, like either magnetic or suction caps or something, so that all the drivers around you know you're learning. And the idea is so that they make allowances and give you space. Except that's not the reality. Most people are real wankers to L platers. Yeah. In my opinion, as the mother of an L plater. Dido's having a look at the electoral roll. You can enroll in Queensland at 16, but you can't vote until you're 18. So really, what's the point? I agree. Like, I can understand getting them enrolled when they're 17 so that by the time that they're 18, they're ready to go. Because in Australia, you'll be fined if you don't vote. It's compulsory voting here. So making sure that they're all set up and ready so that when the election happens, they can vote. But I don't understand 16. So in Vic, you get most of the adult privileges, alcohol, vote, opportunity to get your license. Yeah, I think it's the same here. I think that's pretty well Australia-wide with some slight variations. We get fined for not voting. Absolutely. Elections all happen on Saturdays, and it is compulsory to vote. You can donkey vote, which is you go in, you get your name marked off that you were there, and you can just write crap on your electoral form so your vote doesn't count. But you have to attend. But like, they also are aware that some people work Saturdays, so they have postal voting and they open up some early voting booths. Like, they make it possible for every single person to get out and vote. And there's tons of voting places. Like, from my house, I can choose about 6 within a 5-minute drive, places that I can go and vote. So there's also a ton of voting locations. So, Pearlie, I think it depends on your state. I know, so different levels of government, the fine is different. My dad didn't vote. He forgot to vote in the last federal election, and his fine was 120. But some are 50, and local governments, I think, are 20. It's not a lot. The fines aren't enormous. They're enough to be a deterrent, and that's about it. And democracy sausages. Yeah, love a democracy sausage. So that is at our voting stations, local charities set up barbecues and grill sausages, and they serve it on a piece of bread with onion, like grilled onion, and you can choose your sauce. And sometimes there's bakery stalls. And it's really disappointing if you get to a polling location that has no democracy sausage. Like, there are literally websites now for tracking which places have got what options. Like, this place has got democracy sausages and a craft stall, and like some schools set up a little fete, like a little seriously, can you guys hear my neighbor? Like, heaven forbid that he runs out of petrol. If you're not on the electoral roll, you won't get fined. I'm not sure. I don't know how it works. I think if you're not on the electoral roll, but you have a driver's license that lists yours, because you have to list your place of birth, I think you can still be fined. Yeah. Bob says all of her voting is postal votes. I can imagine. Jackie says it's a great way for charities and communities to raise money. Absolutely. It's fantastic, because you get hundreds of people through. And, you know, like, if you're clever, you make sure that there's like lots of good smelling grilling onions, and people cannot walk past it. It's like, have you guys all heard about the Bunnings snags? Like, our local major chain hardware store has a marquee set up out the front of every stall where a local charity goes in and they do sausage sizzles. Some of them are really good, some of them are less good, but they're really inexpensive. It's like $2 and you get a sausage on a bit of bread. Australian ritual on voting day, the sausage sizzle and the cake stall. Absolutely. Leonie says we've never had democracy sausages. We have to go to Bunnings. Medicare tells AEC, the Australian Electoral Commission, where you are. Yep. Fair enough. Here we go. Hang on. There it is. You can be fined if you don't enroll, because it's also compulsory to enroll. But if you then enroll, they will waive the fee, like waive the fine. Yeah, because they just want you to enroll. I personally don't have a problem with this. I personally think if you live in a country, and especially if you're someone like me who's very opinionated. If I didn't vote, I personally think that you don't get to have a say and you don't get to complain. If you don't vote, you didn't try, and you don't get to complain. That's my opinion. But in Australia, you kind of have to vote, so everybody gets to complain. I know, Sally, that was weird. I don't know how I feel about that. That's odd. That's odd. When they catch you for not voting, they'll fine you for every election you missed. Absolutely, they work it all out. Game Widow says it's $2.50 for a sausage. I think it depends, Game Widows, on where you are, because sometimes the deer are, sometimes they're less. I think it depends on the charity. It's very competitive to get a Bunnings barbecue spot. I'm sure it is. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Considering there are people out there fighting wars to have the right to vote. I agree with you. Geez, we get into some deep stuff over here at the Fiberific Craft and Chats, don't we? We really do. I don't know if it's always the best thing, but we definitely have some interesting discussions. So, yeah. Lisby says, I generally postal vote because many of the voting booths aren't overly accessible. No democracy sausage. Do you know what I would do, Lisby? Because I'm me. I would cook a sausage. I would make my own democracy sausage. It's like, oh, voted? I get to have a sausage on bread. But yeah, no, we definitely have some interesting topics over here, don't we? We talk about like YouTube, and what have we talked about today? So many things. So many things today. Bunnings have a set price because there was too much variation. I'm a veteran of many Bunnings barbecues. That's how my school's paid to get to New Zealand. Okay. Well, I'm not sure if that's filtered up here. I'll have to check it out now. It's been a little while since I bought a Bunnings snag also. Abby and Tim go and buy them. I'm not kidding. Abby will be like, Dad, we need to go to the hardware store. And he'll be like, what for? And she'll like make up something. And then she runs over and gets her sausage. And then he'll be like, what are we getting here? And she's like, I got it. So, yeah. Lisby goes to Bunnings. Pearly sure loves sausage sizzles. Crazy Aunt Nicole jumped in. Yeah, I like a sausage sizzle. I mean, that's what we call them here. Like, I'm trying to be inclusive of a language variation. When there's a big like, you know, thing where it's a big charity event where people pay for a sausage on bread or whatever, is that just Australia that does that? Like has a sausage sizzle? It can't be, right? Everyone's got to do it because it's so awesome. Yeah, that's right, John. Most of us don't mind it. We actually quite like. I don't know many people that get grumpy that they have to vote, other than the fact that they don't want to get up and vote. Like they're enjoying whatever it is that they're doing. Someday you guys will have the freedom to not vote. Yeah. Like I said, your freedom to not vote is just to cast a donkey ballot. So, you know, that's your freedom to not vote. Oh, it's uniquely Australian. In the US, they do bake sales. Okay. Only Aussies do sausage sizzles. Well, then where did we come up with it from? Oh, no. Uh-oh. Here we go for the hard questions. The hard questions. Do the onions go on the top or on the bottom? In my opinion, and this does vary from person to person, I think the onions go on the top. You have your bread. So you have your square of bread. Your sausage goes diagonally. you put on your onions, and then you put on your sauce, and then you hold it like a triangle, like a square taco, and eat it. John says to on the top so I can flick them off. Well, here you can actually ask for no onions, so you don't even have to flick them off. Oh, Crazy Aunt Nicole misses Girl Scout cookies. I've got a friend who's an Australian Girl Scout, and they do Girl Scout cookies. Are they different? Holly says, I wish we did sausage sizzles because they sound so good. No onion. Kay says, on the floor. Kim, hello. I didn't see you there. They belong on the top. We have hot dogs outside of stores near us, but aren't hot dogs like different? Like they're not an actual sausage. They're just like I like hot dogs. Don't get me wrong. We have a hot dog night here, but they're a different kind of sausage. And you don't. I mean, I could be wrong here, but here we don't grill our hot dogs. We boil them. Square bread, not on a roll. It's a sausage sizzle. If you want a hot dog, you get a hot dog. So this is literally like a beef sausage, not a Frankfurt or anything like that. It's a beef sausage, and it's on a piece of bread. Weirdos. Yep. I don't like no butter or marge though. Come on, plain white bread. Yeah, like seriously, you've got a greasy straight from the grill onto your. You don't need butter. I can't count, you guys. I really can't count. Hot dogs are steamed sausage, not barbecued and fried. Yeah. So hot dogs, they either go into a pot of water to keep them hot, like not boiling, but just hot, or they're steamed. So yeah, they're not grilled. Yes, Jancy, they tried to ban the onions. It didn't work. It didn't work because people like Kim were flicking them on the ground. Watch out. Artog's back. It's different. It's not a hot dog. Oh, we don't dictate what you have to do to your hot dogs. I just don't know of any, I've always steamed or boiled mine. Any Australians grill their hot dogs in this chat? This massive cross-section of our country? Like, I've never had a grilled hot dog. They did try to dictate that they go on the bottom for safety on the so the onions go on the bottom of the, like, under the sausage. But that annoyed people. I mean, I didn't care really. I'm like, just give me the onions. I don't care where they go. They're going to go in my tummy. Serendipity, welcome to the chat. Hello. We're having some interesting conversations here. Are our hot dogs different? That could be a thing. Oh, you love freedom. Okay. Our hot dogs are our hot dogs different? So is the actual Frankenfurter that we use in Australia, is that different as well? Yeah, we are talking about hot dogs. We're trying to work out how different Australian hot dogs are from American hot dogs. Because, like, we're talking about the difference between a sausage sizzle and a hot dog, which are different. Okay. So our actual Frankenfurters are different. Okay. Or Frankfurts. Sorry. Frankfurts, not Frankenfurters. Oh my gosh. My sister oven bakes her hot dogs. Wow. Okay. Wonder what that would taste like. We have hot dogs and sausage dogs. Are the sausage dogs actual little four-legged dogs, or are they like sausages? Rocky Horror hot dogs. Oh, Kim, sorry. I realized what I was saying. Oh gosh. Well, I mean, it does now. It seems like even our frankfurts are different. See, now I need to go to America just to try a hot dog. Out of all the things to try, I'm like, I need to try a hot dog. So, like, my view of America, obviously, is from television and YouTube. Is like the corner hot dog vendors really a thing, or is that just a telly thing? Yeah, because I don't know. I've no idea. Like, I can't imagine they would be in so many shows if they weren't a thing. And do they really make, like, some people love them and some people get sick from them? Is that a thing as well? Is that like kebab shops here, where you'll be all right if you go to the right shop? If you go to the wrong one, you could end up sick. Okay, so that's a real thing. That's a thing. Okay, because that's not a thing here. We don't have, like, just on busy office way streets hot dog vendors. Wow. See, outside our nightclubs, we have kebabs usually. Bye, Claire. Have an awesome time. When my sister and her family lived in Australia, she missed the Tex-Mex food the most. Really? Okay. Oh, what have I done? I've done something bad. Hang on. I see what it did. I can't count. Again, I cannot count. Corn dogs. Are corn dogs just Dagwood dogs? Are they the same thing? Okay. Oh my gosh. The wrong kebab place is fine if you disinfected your stomach with enough alcohol. Oh my gosh. Serendipity says that hot dog vendors are regulated by local health departments and held to higher standards than dining restaurants. Really? What do you mean Australians can't do Mexican food? I love Mexican food. I think the closest thing to real Mexican food I've had is Guzman y Gomez. I've tried Taco Bell. I didn't like it. Well, freaky, and that's the thing. I did kind of think they were trying to portray true life, so I figured there were hot dog vendors somewhere. But was it just a New York thing? Was it just an LA thing? I didn't know. So, I should start a hot dog cart in Rundle Mall and make a killing. Maybe you could. Pearly says, I ate an American hot dog in New York City and didn't think they were hugely different to ours. Okay. Oh, Jen. Okay. Tex-Mex. So what is Tex-Mex? Like, because I'm just thinking of, like, Mexican food, like, Guzman y Gomez and burritos and stuff. Is Tex-Mex different? Corn dogs are breaded hot dogs. Taco Bell is not Mexican food. Well, I mean, I thought it was garbage too. That's why I don't like it. But and it's new here. It's only just opened. Corn dogs. Oh my gosh. Just a regular taco joint run by someone's uncle. I think out of all of the things that could possibly have, like, pushed buttons, I think this has done it. I think this is it. Okay, so Tex-Mex is Americanized Mexican food. All right. That's kind of the idea that I had. Yeah. Yeah. So I think we had Taco Bells back in the 90s, and then they shut. And now the guy who's brought Carl's Jr. to Australia has also bought the rights to bring Taco Bell to Australia. So, and again, it's probably different food. It's probably like styled but different tasting. Because I know that like after a big chat, I've worked out that American Coke and Australian Coke taste differently because they're made with different types of sugar. So it definitely makes a difference. Oh, crazy Aunt Nicola said, I have opinions. And if there were a list for me, this would be on the top. Okay. All right. Jackie said that, yeah, corn dogs are like Dagwood dogs, except we use a batter because we do. They get dipped into a liquid batter and then fried. But it's like cornmeal and all sorts of stuff. Yeah. I have Taco Bell up here, and it is rubbish. I like the cinnamon twist puff things. They're good. They're tasty and they crunch. Yes, that's 2 rows. That is. I should really I'll quickly finish it. 1, 2 there. Yeah, we've done 2 rows. Shocking, isn't it? Yeah, and deep fried, not just any fried. Yeah, is that the Dagwood dogs? Because yeah, they're fully deep fried. Okay, so maybe we use the red Frankfurts for the Dagwood dogs, and then they get dipped into the cornmeal batter and then deep fried, and they're shoved on a stick. Crazy Aunt Nicole, I feel that way about a lot of different foods, that the only way to really enjoy it is that. But I don't do that anymore because I'm old. And even just staying up. Seriously, I'm not kidding. I was up and got about 3 hours sleep on Saturday night, right? Because I ended up having to get up early in the morning, and it was all bad. It might have been last weekend. I think it was last weekend. And I swear it felt like I had been drinking all night, and I had not had anything. I just didn't get any sleep either. We did another row, you guys. Hello, bird. I can hear you tap dancing on my roof. So we have another row done. I might just move this Taco Bell. It's still rubbish thing. Deep fried corn dogs. Yes, I'm just cinnamon twist from Taco Bell. Yeah, I like them. Breakfast sausage dipped in blueberry pancake batter and fried with maple syrup. See, I can't. My brain doesn't do the sweet and savory together thing very well. I don't I do like the maple glazed bacon that I can buy, but I've tried having it with pancakes and it just feels wrong. It doesn't mean it is wrong. It just means I'm for breakfast. I like to either go the sweet route or the savory route. I don't like to mix both. Oh, there you go. You guys can bond over your pancake batter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop to our desk view so we can have a look at a few more of the colors. There we go. We have lots of colors. So there we go. I'll just look at this. Look at this great camera angle that I've made here. That shows the fact that my wall isn't, all wall. But yeah, so this is the colors we've got. This is half. We are about halfway done. So it's 2.2 meters wide. I don't know what it's going to be long. It's going to be long. So yes, that's where we're up to. So it's getting there. It's definitely getting there. It's growing. I'm just like, I hope I don't spot a mistake. I'd be very sad. All right, back to the other view and join on the orange. It is looking good. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. And we got 2 rows done today, which is fantastic. Like I did do a timed row a little while ago, and when I'm not chatting and doing all of this, I can do a row in about 17 minutes. But it just seems that during the live streams, I need considerably longer. John feels so lied to. About what, John? That's not real brick. Sorry, John. Yeah, not real brick. I'm in a little shed that's metal. It's basically a Faraday cage. which is why we struggle so much with the internet in here. I'm just seeing. What's an Australian favorite meal? I think it's going to depend on family to family. Like, yeah, it's really going to depend. I'm just saying it's not witchetty grubs and kangaroo steaks. I do not like kangaroo meat. It's so gamey. It's just not good. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if Australia actually has its own sort of cuisine. We've sort of stolen all our foods from other places. We've got very European palate here. So lots of pastas and pizzas and you know, like salads and French sauces, and meat pie is probably the most Australian-ish thing, yeah. Barbecue, like a lot of Australians like barbecue for sure. I'm just checking here. 1, 2. Something made a weird noise over there. That was odd. Shrimps on the barbie, not likely. I need more hot water in my tea. Pie floater, nope. That's more English than Australian, right? Fake brick wall reminded you of what? Yes. Obsession Yarns is on the weekend releasing a colorway inspired by the wall. And she's calling it not Obsession, because if you saw the live stream that I did for the Big Wool Show when we were interviewing Obsession Yarns, and we did a giveaway, I was trying to use like people's business names, but for some reason there were no entries coming in, and it turned out I had a typo in it, and I'd written Obsession instead of Obsession. So now she's bringing out a colorway called Obsession, and it's based off the wall, and it is so good looking. And I thought I missed out because I obviously didn't read the post properly. And the yarn looks gorgeous. So go and check out Obsession Yarns on Instagram, because she's doing a release. Is it Saturday or Sunday? I think it's 10:30 Saturday morning, but I don't know if that's Brisbane time or New South Wales time, because I obviously didn't read it properly. But yeah, let me just look here. So 1, 2, then 1, and then 1. Oh, I think I've screwed something up. Hang on a second. Let me just do some quick counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 4, 6. Then 2 of those. 1 of those. Then 2. But that's gonna. That doesn't look right. I've screwed it up somewhere. Hang on. 2, 4, 5, 6. Then 1. I know we're nearly at time, you guys. I know we're nearly at time. Oh, okay, you guys have checked. It's 10:30 Sunday Sydney time. So that's 9:30 for us up here if we want to get one. Crazy Aunt Nicole's going to be someone jumped in. Someone jumped in. Yeah. It's amazing, isn't it? Yeah, I think it might be Sydney time, Leanne. So if we don't want to miss out, then we need to jump in at 9:30 our time. Okay, I did screw up. I can't count, and I fixed it. I fixed it, everybody. All right, let's go back. There we go. I know we're nearly at time, but I want to get this start of this next row done. There we go. And I am into the first repeat. So yay. Okay. this has been so much fun today, and I'm glad we got to have a full 2-hour stream because we didn't last week. And it's good to be back for 2 hours again. I was a little worried this morning that we wouldn't find something to talk about for 2 hours. I don't know what I was worried about. We always find something to talk about, don't we? So, Chaos Creator has popped a link in. Right click that link to go and check out the Audition Yarns Etsy store. It is not up there yet. If you check out her Instagram, you'll be able to see photos. But the yarn won't be live until Sunday. So yeah, so that would be really cool. I really definitely would like to get my hands on one of those myself. So I will be trying to battle you all. Obsession. That's right. Obsession. Yeah. No, obsession. Sorry, obsession yarns for the Obsession colorway. It's I can't even get it right when I know that I got it wrong, honestly. So I will see you all next week, and we'll come back and we'll do some more craft. I'll let Tim know, Leanne, that we're thanking him for his Louis sitting. And I will catch you all next week. I'm going to be on the socials for the next couple of days. And if I'm not feeling great, probably a little less than usual. And I'll go and check out Discord, and I'll look more into the YouTube memberships to try and phase out the Patreon. So that's my goals for the week. Don't forget to pop photos of your queens into the fun zone so I can check out your borders, so I can get some inspiration. Yeah. I think you should have a special order for your naming rights. No, I don't do that stuff. But yeah, I think it's cute and it's fun. All right. I will catch you all later. You be good and have a good week. And I think we all need to go and eat hot dogs now. Yeah. I'll catch you later. Bye.